Very welcome. Well, I will measure it here for you. Checking the size. Look at 9 centimeters. When made from the sole, it is 9.5 centimeters more or less, and then it gets right. Here, 9 centimeter measurement. Okay, I'll be sending you the list of materials to save time. So we'll need a measuring tape to check the size of your sole needle that I used was needle number 2. You can use a needle that is more comfortable for you to use and gives the correct measurement of the sole. I will explain it later at the end of the sole part. Okay, in more detail about the stitch tension. Well, let's use it elastex. Because it has the LXZ in here, so it can adapt better to the baby's little foot as it grows, then it opens and then accommodates the shoe depending on the size of the little foot. Well, we're going to need scissors. The glue used was Pegamil, and I also used cloth glue just to join the soles because it is made with a double sole, so I don't need to use an insole in here, and it's more comfortable. There's no comparison. We'll need markers. The labels are from Carina Aviamentos. I leave the suppliers of sole decorations, everyone here in the video description. If you want to use another type of material, you want to add something here, decorate it however you think best. The threads used were Bella. Fashion in color 2219. This thread here has 295 texts. You can do it with Ann too, which will work, and the Bella that I used to make the sole the color 9748. This thread here has 370 of texts, 2 meter. Both are from Penguin. We will also need a tapestry needle to make the finishing touches. My tags are from Cut Cute. There are here several formats, various colors. I leave the contact in the description of the video for those who are interested. They are great in the case of this model to indicate left foot and right foot. You place it on the side so you can know exactly which is the right foot and left foot. This model here, I filled it with paper. I call it bread paper to make it better to handle, and it is from Carina Aviamentos. She sells the kit. I don't know if she sells it separately, but in any case, the contact is here in the video description. I use this mold to support. When it comes to gluing, an important part, but you can do it without. I'll explain to those who don't have the mold, the easiest way is to glue it, okay? Because this espadrilles, I make the back separately from the front, then we glue it together here. It's totally comfortable. It doesn't hurt the baby's little breasts. I don't know if you can see inside. Look, you can't even tell here that they were done separately. Two inside the third. I do 2 double crochets. The 2 chains we skipped serves as a single crochet. So here we have 3 stitches in the same place. If you want, you can mark here inside the second chain that is symbolizing the first stitch to make it easier, the row union. Then I'm going to mark it here to show you counting from bottom to top in the second chain. Now we're going to continue making a total of 6 double crochets, 1 stitch for each chain. We're going to take it inside the chain and make a single crochet, and thus 1 stitch in each chain until we have a total of 6 stitches. Ready now, we will do a half double crochet and 6 double crochets. I have 1 chain left here at the end. I will do 7 double crochets inside it all here within this last chain. I already have 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now we are going to repeat the same sequence that we did here on the other side. On top of each dot corresponding to the previous one, we will make a stitch using these straps left over from the chains. In total, 6 double crochets after the increase of 7 stitches, 7 double crochets, 1 stitch in each strap that we have. here after a half double crochet. And 6 double crochets. I'm already taking the opportunity to hide this thread. Leave it close to the base of the stitches, and I'll make a cast off when I have my 6 stitches. I'll be back. Ready now. I'll leave the little piece of thread back here and here in the same place where we already have 3 stitches. We are going to make 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And to close the row, we are going to make a slip stitch exactly where we placed our marker in the second chain that is representing the 2 that are representing our first single crochet. I do a slip stitch, and our first row is ready. We will go up 3 chains starting the second row, and here inside this same little hole we will make a double crochet exactly where we joined the row. Now our second stitch, you are left with 1 loop. You can see the 2 loops of the next stitch. We are going to take them carefully so that we can use this stitch. And in this third point, we made another increase. We have an increase in high point, a double crochet, and an increase in a double crochet. Now we will continue making a total of 13 double crochets, 1 stitch on top of the base stitch ready. And now we will make an increase in the next one's 7 points exactly. In those points, and we did them all in the same place in each point of these 7. We will make an increase 1 and 2 points in the same point. Then we go to the next one and 2 points in the same point. So we will do it until the 7 are interconnected. Increases here. I'll be right back. The 7 increases completed. Now we will do our 13 double crochets again. And here we have 3 stitches left. Here at the end, in the next stitch, high point, look at 1 and 2 stitches. And to join the row, we are going to come here, counting from bottom to top within the third chain. We are going to make a slip stitch. We finish our second row. Now we are going to our third and final row, starting with 2 chains that represent a half double crochet. Here in the same place where we join the row, see in this same hole. Let's do a half double crochet, thus resulting in an increase here at the beginning. As always, keep the looper very relaxed. Let's do ours. After the increase, the 11 half double crochets. Ready, and now we are going to loop the needle and make a sequence of 6 double crochets. Let's now do a slightly different sequence of increases, so I'm going to do it all with you. Let's do a double crochet increase in the next stitch and 2 double crochets in a row, 1 and in the next stitch, 1 more stitch alone, an increase of 2 double crochets in the next one. Increase after increase, 2 double crochets. In the next one, increase here, we are going to do a sequence of 2 increases, then 1, and in the next stitch, 1 more. Increase in the next one, double crochet alone, and in the next one more double crochet. Alone here in the other, we're going make an increase 2 double crochets, and in the next stitch 1 more, and an increase in high point finishing. Here, this sequence of increases that I told you now, we are going to make 6 double crochets. Done the 6 stitches, 11 half. Double crochets when I have my 11 stitches. I'll be back. There will only be a little stitch left at the end. Without doing it, done the 11 stitches now here at the end. In the last stitch, let's do an increase of half a double crochet also, 1 and 2 stitches in the same stitch, and now to finish we're going to cut. The thread I'm going to make a fastening here. I like to do it so that it doesn't increase the stitch on the sole. It pulled it straight, it turned, and then we're going to ignore our first stitch here, which is represented by 2 chains. Let's go. Use the 2 loops of the next stitch of the second stitch then, ignoring the 2 chains, enter. Here inside the 2 loops of the next stitch. Look, if you count, looking straight here, you will enter inside the 2 loops of what appears to be a chain accounting. One right here at the base, just after this line that is here horizontally, 012, and enter here. Inside the third like this, with the sole turned inside out, okay, let's pull the thread straight now. With the needle from the bottom to the top, it goes inside of the 3 little knots coming out right in the middle here of the 2 loops of the last stitch, exactly where this thread comes from, and pull the thread. Straight down here now, you turn your sole, the right side, straighten it. Look, this one is the loop that we just formed. Then you will pull the thread, adjusting it to be the size of the other. Straps. Enter inside the 2 straps that you just formed, pull the thread in that direction, go. To the next stitch inside the 2 straps, so take the thread back, return to the stitch. Previous, I take the thread there again, and here in the next stitch, I take it to the back, leaving the thread. For the wrong side of the sole. This is the right side, and here we have the wrong side as I will. Use 2 soles, or if I were to use an insole as well, I'm going to finish like this by making the nozinho and pulling it well, then I'm going to cut the excess thread. Cut this other one here, we also finish. So here our sole looks like this. It's not completely straight due to the number of stitches, so it's a bit crooked. But as we are going to use 2 soles, when we glue it to the right, it is very correct. Measuring here for you internally, it is almost 9C5. Okay, 9.5 is not enough, can't you see? Then you control the tension of your point for you. To achieve this same result, I generally recommend using a larger needle if your sole is smaller or loosening. The stitch is a little more. Work with the thread, or with your hand a little lighter and more relaxed without putting too much tension on your stitch without pulling too much. Or do you use a smaller needle if it is longer than 9.5 centimeters? And it's the same thing. Always controlling the tension of your stitch, it doesn't tighten. We are going to glue the sole. We are going to apply the glue only here with 2 mm TR away from the edge because we cannot apply glue here where we are going to join the sole. Okay, where are we going to insert the needle then to join the 2 soles? So we pass it in such a way as not to touch the edge, and here on the inside you completely fill it with glue. This glue, as I said, I only used it to glue the soles because it is not good for gluing. External details is something that you want to stay stuck on forever, right? Or that lasts a long time without having to be glued on, like emblems and or little details of the crochet itself. It's not good. I've already tested it. I don't know if it's because I didn't wait long enough. For example, 72 hours to be able to wash the item. I washed it before that. I didn't leave it overnight and washed it, and it came off, so I don't recommend using it for those little details that we glue to. The shoe. Well, I'm going to apply the glue in the same way here in this other PE, and I'll come so we can join. Now, yes, I'm going to place it here so that case the edges are, there is one point. In the direction of each point here, okay? Just going about this work carefully to ensure a good union of the sole then. So the ideal is for you to match the dots well towards each other. The dots on the edge should look like this after you got everything right. This was good, everything was right. Check to see if your sole isn't crooked and go pressing here. Okay, after that, we are going to get the same color that we worked on the sole, so we can make the union. We are going to use the 2 loops at the top and just 1 at the bottom because I want it to give this effect of, let me get it, I want it to give this effect here. Let's keep this little line left here to make a demarcation of the sole. Okay, so I'll do it like this for this purpose. Let's get the thread. Leave a little big piece of thread for you to finish off later. Look, I went in here, pulled it, formed the looper here and makes the union, brings the thread, makes a slip stitch. Don't tighten this. Slip stitch to the point of decreasing the width here of the sole. One from the bottom sole. Look, it's going to stay here like this, that little strap left marking the sole. When there's only 1 dot missing, if you want, you can mark it here on the 2 straps of the first point so you don't get lost. This one was our first point. When there's just 1 stitch missing to join here, in this case, I'll get to this point here, and before doing it, when there's just 1 stitch missing, I'll come back to show you how we're going to do the finishing. I came back here as promised. Just missing this 1 last stitch. I have 57 very low stitches here already, counting. Here, each chain here is a stitch, right? So I already have 57. Now we are going to cut the thread, bring the thread straight up here. It looks like this. Okay, let's go back here in this same stitch. Oh, going inside it, coming out there, exactly where we insert the needle to make the penultimate stitch, leaving the yarn here free. Okay, guys, I'm going to take this thread that was at the bottom. I'll bring it up. It'll come out of the same place where it was coming from, where this other thread here comes from. There will be 2 threads coming out of the same stitch. I'm going to remove the marker here so I won't get lost, but look, I'm going to enter here inside the 2 loops of the first stitch. This other little leg of thread and take it there, and so we close our sole with a perfect finish, and the little leg of thread that is outside we are going to enter inside the next stitch like this and bring it to the inside. Let's these 2 lines here on hold so that when you go through with the first row here in this region, you can finish off the thread, or you can finish off with the little needle. No problem. Tapestry needle is ready. Here the union of our sole, and it looks like this. This is the bottom part, and this is the top part. Let's come here exactly in the middle of the heel part. Oh, put your needle straight, and you will find a point here that is more in the middle in the direction of this line. Oh, you see, what I'm going to be this point, we're going to mark this point here, which is my point in the middle of the center here in the heel region, which marks the division between one side and the other. And now we're going to walk 14 points here. In the direction it's on the right side, going in the forward direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and within point 14 we will only use the back stitch. Here of all the stitches we work here on this base, we will only use the back strap of this 1 point of those stitches that we made to join the sole. So here inside point 14 we will start working our part here, behind our widened one, okay? Let's get the thread. Throw the little leg of smaller thread on top and here hold it. Adjusting it. Okay, pull the thread coming from the ball a little here to adjust the loops in a single crochet here inside the same place where we attach the thread. We will work in the same way for another 28 stitches in total. We will make 29. Single crochets. You can now remove yours marker and work your 29 single crochets. I am going to work hiding this light thread for about 5, 6, 7 stitches, more or less. It was a little more. Look, I'll leave it there, and now I'm going to pick up this other thread, which is closer this side. I'm going to put it here so I can cast it off. Just the other side. We'll cast it off to the other side. Look, and then we'll normally work our Low stitches look like this. When I get here, I'll start to cast off this other thread I'm going to do my 29 stitches, and I'll be right back ready. There are already 29 single crochets here, and this is our first row. Every time we turn the work, I'm not going to do the chain to turn. Okay, I turn the work and come back here doing stitch over stitch. Okay, entering the first stitch. I make my first double crochet. Let's work in total here 11 back and forth rows of 29. Double crochets starting the second row. We got there at the end of the row in the last one. Little stitch just turns the work. If you want, you can make a chain to turn it, but I prefer how I work like this. It's more delicate and comes back. Then it turned, the work turns, oops, start. Your row from the first stitch, repeating the 29 double crochets like this until you have 11 rows of 29 double crochets here at the back. I'll be back when our 11 rows are completed. Now we're going to turn the work. You can make a chain here, turn the work, and come back, making in each little space like this in each stitch, a very loose slip stitch, so it's not remove the elasticity here from our piece. Look at each stitch. We are going to make a slip stitch at the end of the row, then you cut here and you can cast off your thread. I will show you here how I cast off. I will cast off here on the wrong side. I bring the thread here inside of the weft, 2 little stitches. Let it pull the thread, came out here. Oh, I'm going to take a little bit in front or in the middle of this weft. And I come back a little with the needle here, and the thread is well finished, and the back part of our little sandal is ready here. Take the opportunity to cut the remaining threads here so that everything is clean. Well, now we're going to start doing the front part. We're going to come here from the right side of the piece. Right side, left side. Let's go in. Here, I have a little dot in this little hole at the base of this little hole where I made this last stitch. We're going to enter with the needle and move 2 dots backwards. Oh, ignore this first one. Here you go. Counting 1 next stitch and 2 in the next, you entered with the needle and came out here in the next dot. Inside the space exactly where we made the first one. Row of single crochet, and then we will secure the thread here. We will make 2 stitches like this in relief. We will secure the thread. I will make a chain to keep the thread secure here very tightly. I will come back here in the same space, in the same place where I did it, do the chain and do a single crochet. Then I already have a relief stitch. Now I'm going to enter the next one in the same place. Where I left, do the first stitch and leave here in this last little space where I have a worked stitch. This thread here, I already leave. It's well positioned, so I can turn it around and finish it off. So I made 2 raised stitches here and now. Just work, stitch after stitch, remembering that you're going to use the back stitch of each stitch, or the back stitch in total. We're going to make 33 stitches. Low points arriving here, we're going to do the same as we did. We're going to work on 2 points in relief here in this part. In total, it's going to be 33 points. I'm going to continue making my points. Arriving here, walk 2 more stitches. Oh, enter into the last space and come out ahead, a little bit ahead, then make our point 32, enter here in the same place where you left to make the first stitch, and go ahead, go out in the next little hole and make another double crochet, a chain, and we can cut the thread here. We have a total of 33 single crochets here. I'm going to cut the excess thread. Now we're going to count 17 single crochets, and I'm going to mark. Here at point 17, I start counting from this first dot that you picked up in relief. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 like this until you get to 17. My point 17 is here, which is exactly in the middle of the sole. Okay, just follow this little line here in the middle, and you'll see it clearly. Now we're going to start working here on this whole front part. Let's walk. After this marking, I will put the marker here to facilitate 2 more points in this direction to the right, towards the right. Ignore this point. Point 17, let's go 1 and 2 more points here. We will work using the 2 handles of each dot like that. Okay, so every time we add stitches on the side, to turn the work, we'll pick it up like this, using the 2 loops of the double crochet. Okay, I've done 2 more. Stitches, I can now remove the marker counting on the marking point. We have 3 dots. Here, removed it. Now we're going to attach the thread here always in the same way, a chain, and we will start 5 single crochets from this same place where we fastened the thread. So 1, 2. 3, 4, and 5. These 5 points are our central points. That's our central point that gives here. Is right, so it doesn't get crooked. Now every time we go to walk stitches on the side, we go walk just 2 stitches. So we have 5 stitches. Now we are going to do 2 more. So we can turn work 1 and 2, turn the work with the thread always in front of the stitches, like when you turned it, you leave the thread the same way it was. We're going to start the 3rd row. We're going to skip the 1st stitch here, and in the 2nd stitch, we're going to make the increase. Make 1 and 2 stitches in the same stitch. We're going to continue making 4 more stitches, 2, 3, and 4, and here, in the last stitch, we're going to make an increase of single crochet, also 1 and 2. Let's now move 2 stitches on the side to turn the work 1 and 2 turned. Let's start. Our row number 4. Now we have a total of 8 stitches here in our previous row. We are in the row, TRS in the row when we go skip the 1st stitch. Always starting every time we turn the work. We will start the row from the 2nd stitch. So here on row number, we will have a total of 9 stitches. I've done that. I made the 9 stitches. Let's go 2 stitches double crochets here on the side, starting from the next free stitch. We do 1 and 1 more stitch, 2 stitches, turn the work. We will skip the 1st stitch. Start the next row from the 2nd stitch. We will have a total of 10 double crochets in our 5th row, and so we will do until we have 16 rows. We will go 2 stitches on the side to turn the work, start the row from the 2nd stitch, always skipping the 1st stitch, and then when we have 14, not 16 rows, I will come back here to finish the last row with you, is wave 1 and 2 stitches. I always turn the work, skip the 1st stitch, started the next row from the 2nd stitch. So counting on the 1st row here that we used as a guide, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, interacting 6 with the one I started here in the 6th row, I have 11 single crochets. Okay. And so I'm going to do my 16 rows here, repeating the same way I did the others. Okay. And I'll come back here with you. I've reached the end of row number 16. Look in here. You already have 21 stitches. I'm going to come to the same point where I attach the last stitch that I sent. Here, there, in the same stitch, I'm going to make a very slip stitch. Finishing the row like this, make a very tight chain. Cut the thread. Don't worry. Don't worry about these little threads here on the side, because later we're going to do a finish here, then you'll be able to glue this thread right down there, these little points that were left here. See, you're going to glue and cut the excess, and this detail will cover it, won't it? You can see a little bit of nothing. Well, now let me just cut this thread. We're going to glue our back part here and the front part for those of you who don't have the Zinyo pattern. This pattern here that I showed PR to you, in the list of materials you will follow the following logic. Oh, you will apply the glue first here at the top, about half a cm towards here, okay? And you will stick it here like this, these half cm, and then you will apply the glue here wherever it touches without having to keep pulling it like this too. Here you go. It will be straightened out. You'll get it messed up. Straighten the back here so that it stays normal without being stretched, and it will stick. You see, that's all you'll do. No need to panic if you don't have the pattern. Zinho, I like to use this mold as a support, a help, so that we can glue it correctly. It did like this. Then apply the glue here and place the detail, this part of the front on top. Okay, that's it. Glue, put 0.5 centimeters here, just this part from the back here, towards the inside. Okay, and then our little cat will be glued together, okay? I'll be right back here, because I'm going to get my glue to stick it together with you, as I said. I'm going to use another glue because the cloth glue comes off when it's washed, at least in the time I left it. It came off. Look. You used a little bit of glue, and now you're going to come here and fix the back. Oh, and you're going to put the little detail on the front up here, 0.5 centimeter, Zinho. Oh, you're taking it here on this little line here. On this valetin. Little detail from the back is getting here. From here to here, you can feel it. He did it there. Now on the other side, the same thing happened. The glue fixes it and press to glue it when it's well glued and you're applying it. Glue carefully here on this front part here. On the edge. If you want, you can pass it here too. And then you'll finish making your collage. I'll do the same. Here. And I'll be right back to PR, who doesn't have the mold is to do it the way I explained. Hey guys, so it doesn't go wrong. Fix the back part, support it here, okay? This is Val Inha here. That's where the limitation here is to get this part here at the back. The tip at the back is, and then afterwards glue the rest. In the same way I did here, now we're going to insert our needle right here at the edge. We are going to do a row of slip stitch here, okay? It's good to sew a seam to ensure that this part doesn't come loose. This part here is with a prettier finish. I took the thread from the inside. I am going to enter this little interval here. We don't have a well-defined stitch. And I'm going to make a slip stitch, look for the thread back inside, and make the first slip stitch. Now we can continue, picking it up. There on the two straps. Unlike this on the two straps of the front detail, in the direction that the needle comes out at the back, you go. When I get here, I'll come back. Look, here now we're going to continue, taking. This little part here, be careful with the tension of the stitch, so as not to be different. Relax. A little more the stitch to be the same size as the others here it is from the beginning. Then I did it here. The last point of this free part, right? From this little gap, position your line. Here so that you can get it inside again. Okay, don't bring it to front like this. Otherwise you won't be able to complete the seam. Go in there, taking the inside part too, and then continue doing this work. Look for the thread there carefully. Oh, I'm going to finish my seam here. When you get here, I'll come back with you. It'll look like this. Okay, I'll be right back. I made my last stitch. Let's cut here the thread. Pull it straight here to bring the thread to the outside. An important detail if you want. You can start this little stitch, this row of very low stitches from this side to here, which I believe will go. It makes it easier. That's the point, right? As I said later, we are going to glue these little strips, right? These little threads that are left here, they won't show up. If you want, you can finish them off with the tapestry needle. It's almost ready here. Ours is Alpgata. Let's do this detail now here on the side from the back here. This line is good because it helps when putting on the baby's foot. Well, let's come here towards the middle here by the heel. Let's go up. Here we found a point here central. Let's use these straps for the slip stitches that were left. Here, okay, here is the middle point. I'm going to move one more stitch here, taking just one stitch like this. I'm going to work 3 double crochets, hold the thread, and then we make a chain and a single crochet. Here is our first stitch. I Did it in the same stitch in the same strap of chain to secure the thread, and then a double crochet. In the next one, in the next stitch. One more stitch, and in the next strap, one more stitch. I have TRS. Stitches, I turn the work without making a chain. I start the second row stitch over stitch. We will do a total of 8 rows of TRS single crochets. I finished my 8 rows. I'll be back with you. I finished my 8 rows. At the end, I make a tight chain. Leave a small piece of big thread cut. Wow, why did I leave this thread here? So I can use it to sew the little detail here at the base of the first row here, okay? Look, I'm now going to enter the 2 loops of the last stitch here to adjust this thread. Bring it more to the center. I'm going to enter the first space, the same place where I worked my stitch. I bring the thread down here. I enter the next space. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to enter here at the second little point. Now I'm going to enter here at the last. Little space. I'm going to go around. Let me cut the thread that I tied here so I don't get in the way. I'm going to take a little walk around here. I'm going to take it here inside from the last little point. And I enter the same place where I left to do and to give the... You can sew it your way. I'm trying to give an explanation here, but I don't know if it worked very well, so here it's well sewn. Now I'm going to bring the thread low, and here I'm going to do the finishing. You can finish it from the inside too, okay? There, your criteria, and go back a little bit. Same cast off that I taught PRU there on the back. Right here on this side hole, and it looks like this good. Now we're going to do a little row of low stitches too, but with the X, so that our little bar has elasticity. It's good, and it adjusts to the baby's foot, so it doesn't come off. Look, I like to use Lastec thread. Like I told you, a very low stitch leaves a little bit of Lastec thread. Here I'm going to go through the inside, taking it below the stitch line. With a slip stitch, I'm going to start doing the slip stitches here with the Lastex. I get this little detail of the seam very close here. Then I come to the next space, I do a slip stitch, then you pull it a little to give it a repad, just to adjust it and make it very tight. Slip stitch. Otherwise, there's no point in doing this. Leaving it loose, you pull, then pull comes, and so you will do until you get here, okay? I'll be right back. I'll show you this the right side so you can see how it looks, okay? I'll be right back. Ready? Here I'll cut a little piece too so that I can finish off this elastex. Here, and it looks like this. It's already closed, you see? Then it closes a little more. Okay, here I'm going to finish off with a tapestry needle. Look how this thread ended up on the outside. I'm going to go in at the front. You don't need to keep pulling this part here because we don't need this elastic to be stretched in this area where we are going to fasten it. Otherwise, it will come loose. So let's leave it very loose and let's fasten it with the same fastening that we used. Don't pull it, we leave it loose, and then it came back a little bit without pulling it. Then you cut it, and your elastic is finished here. It won't come loose. I'll do the same here on this side. I'll be right back, and now for us to really finish it. We'll do the last finish that will be here in the sum part, if you like the way it turned out here. Just finish off these threads and your widening is ready, Dinha. But I'm still going to do this last finish here, so I'm going to increase the extent of this sole. Here I go. Come from the back. Here I'm going to take the loop that's left over that. We left that loops with slip stitches. Get it? Just a loop, okay? We'll stay here and I'm going to use the same line that I did the G line. It's obvious, right? Then we're going to take it here. Look, work. Slip stitches in the sense that I'm doing here. Form the loops. Leave a little piece of thread for you to cast off or glue, right? Then you come here, next loop, do the slip stitch, and then we'll work the whole row. If you want, you can put a marker indicating where your first stitch is. Here I'm going to do all this canto of the sole, and I I'll be back to do a little more here for you. To see. Remembering people to make a very loose stitch? I'm going to do my entire contour here. I'll be right back, huh? See you soon. I made the... last stitch, and now we're going to come back here and work in the same way, just taking the backstrap here. Let's start the first stitch again here. In the first stitch where it was marked, let's just take this strap here on the edge. It's at the front. And we're going to make our first stitch again. You can mark it so you know where your first stitch is, taking just the back stitch or working in the middle of the slip stitch between the two slip stitch loops. You make a slip stitch. There will be this little strap left here. That is on the inside here. This one that is left, let's take it right here in the middle, taking only the strap on the edge. So this way, we will repeat 2 more rows, counting on this one. In total, 3 rows to go up a little here. This base is going to stay like this here. So I'm concluding this career that I started now, and one more, I'll come back here with you. Ready? I finished my careers, then I'll cut the thread, then you'll bring it here. By entering into the few dots, you can bring straight to the inside part here for us to glue, but I'm going to do it here first. Bringing it out, and then I take the thread inside again. I go inside the front stitch. I pull the thread without forcing it so it doesn't get pulled. Then now I go in a little dot at the front, and I take the thread to the inside, because there we are going to do the same thing that I indicated here for you. Here on these ones on the side, we are just going to glue these threads. It will not be necessary to keep finishing them with a needle, right? I took the other one inside too. Well, now we're going to glue these little threads first and then glue our base here. Take it here, my glue. Take it. I'm going to pass it here a little bit, and now I'm going to take the threads. I'm going to place it here, where there's glue, glue it, then you cut it. If you want to add any excess thread, you can add a little more to ensure that it will be well glued, and here, on the edge, where you apply the glue and then just glue it here, oh, then the lines are gone. I'll repeat the same here on these little threads. First, I glue the thread, this one. I'm going to glue it in this direction, seeing this one this way and this one. I cut the excess. Be careful not to cut the weft there that you wove. Hey, and here I repeat the same. I'm going to take advantage of it and come here and pass it. Glue, where do I have to go to glue the base? Here I'm going to glue this whole part. Apply the glue carefully, because if you're working with a dark line, you might end up with a stain. All right, let's glue it here with care and attention so that it stays exactly right. Okay, I'll be right back here. I've already glued my entire base. Look, this is what our cat Alpar looks like, this cute little guy. I love this cat Alp, and I hope you liked it too. May they make a lot and sell a lot. That's it. That's it. Stay with God and see you in the next class.